Welcome to Bumpkin Island. So today I have decided it is warm enough to go kayaking. There's my kayak, and I kayaked over from the Hull, Massachusetts mainland over to Bumpkin Island, which is almost connected by a narrow sand spit, by the way, to the mainland. So at low tide, which right now is about low tide, you can walk here even. You will be wading a little bit through the water, but yeah, just keep in mind of the tides. When the tide comes back, you won't be able to just simply walk back. It'll be too deep. Anyway, so I am here on Bumpkin Island, which is these days part of the Boston Harbor Islands National Recreation Area / State Park. But in the past it's seen many uses, and there's some ruins on this island that kind of pertain to the different eras that this island has experienced. So Bumpkin Island, up until the year 1900, was home to some farms. Some agricultural activity happened here. Grazing land for livestock mostly, lots of sheep. And then in 1900, a wealthy philanthropist by the surname Burrage, he decided to build a children's hospital on this island, of which not much remains, because in 1946 the structure burnt down, and there's a couple of piles of bricks that I'm going to show you that are left of this building. So during World War I, this island was seized by the US Navy and turned into a training facility to get, people into the Navy and go fight wars in Europe. So this road here was built during that era, when there were a total of 56 buildings on this island. 56. Quite a few. Of all of those buildings, only one remains. So I'm gonna go and see that one. So there's a helpful sign here. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read it in more detail. But the gist of it is that this wealthy guy, Albert Cameron Burrage, decided to do a good thing and lease this island from Harvard University, which Harvard University owned this island before that, which is interesting. So he leased it and built this children's hospital here, looking after sick children, which is great. And then when World War I came along, the US Navy got hold of this island and built a Navy training facility on it, and the hospital was closed down, and in 1946 it burnt down. And what remains here is some bricks. So I'm gonna show you these piles of bricks now. Yeah, that's what appears to be some remains of a chimney, I would imagine. But yeah, look at all this mess. I'm gonna try to get over there. Hold on. See if I slip on any of this loose stuff. I don't see many markings on these bricks either. Here's one. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. Piece of metal in there. Let's see if we can't find anything in here. Excellent view of the Boston skyline in the distance over there from the ruins of Burrage Hospital. All that remains of it on this island is a pile of bricks. It's just a tangle in here. Yeah, like one of the few intact sections of brick wall there. Distance once again. That is a remnant of the US Navy era of this island. That building is what used to be the mess hall, so the dining hall for the US Navy training facility. And that is pretty much the only building that is left, you know, even a trace of it is left on this island. All the rest of the buildings have been removed. They've been painstakingly taken down and all the materials removed off of this island. I don't know how or why they went through all the trouble of doing that, but that is the situation we have today. And in the foreground, so those two hills over there, and that hill, and that one, all of those hills are paddocks island. And Pedix Island is great. I would highly recommend visiting. In the summer, you can catch a ferry to Pedix Island from Hingham, and it's a very cool place to visit. Excellent. Can't really ask for anything better than this. I mean, it's a Sunday and it's kind of cold and windy. In March, it's March 9th today, and I have this island to myself, as far as I know. I don't think there's anyone else here. It would be a little bit you know, a little bit jarring if I ran into someone else, but welcome to the dining hall of the U.S. Navy training facility. Let's find a way in, shall we? Ah, here's one. Let's see what we can find in here. So cool. Yeah, these columns here, and then we can perhaps get closer to them, like so. Ah. And what do we have here? What appears to be some porcelain. Cool. Can I? Thank you. That's excellent, you guys. Look. SNA washdown. I found what appears to be a toilet. This is excellent. I love finding toilets in the wild, or at least what used to be a toilet. Goodbye. Seems like kind of an old one too. The ones that the Navy might have installed here back during the 1910s, don't you think? Another piece of toilet porcelain and what remains of a metal bucket. I mean, to anyone who wants to try this, best of luck. Try not to get Lyme disease. Okay? Try not to do that. especially in the summer, you're gonna get it. Like, you're gonna get it. There's no way around it. Bye! Yes. So, maybe if I go up this way, it would be easier to penetrate this area. And so far, so good. Yeah. I mean, instead of trudging through all of that, yeah, this seems to be the better course of action. Yeah, I don't fancy trying to get through that too much. And yeah, up beyond those, up beyond all these bushes here, is the children's hospital that I was at earlier, so I'm not going to go any further in that direction, but I am going to go this way to see if I still feel. I try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become, my sweetest friend? Okay, I'm gonna cut it out now. So yeah, I'm just scanning around for more ruins. I remember that metal pipe thingy from earlier. So I've been there. I just found my way around all these hardwood bushes, went back down and back up again. I'm just scanning the floor for interesting stuff out here, man. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm really doing out here. Okay, I found this. Appears to say Crystal Blue Incorporated, referring to this, the maker of this bottle. It's a cool remain. I'm gonna put it back where I found it, right there. There's a glass bottle here that I'm gonna try to pick up. Here we go. Federal law forbids something or reuse of this bottle. So you can't reuse this bottle, I guess. Probably was used to store some sort of bio matter. Excellent. See what else. There's a shard of a plate, another bottle that's of similar makeup. Here it is. Hudson Bay Company. Look here. There's some bottles here. Some of them cool. Or what remains of them. There's this one. Seltzer. Baltimore, Maryland. Emerson Company. There's a plate here. Hold on. There's a plate. Not really any markings on it. There's this. What appears to be the bottom of a huge bottle. Look at the thickness of that thing. And then there's This appears to be a piece of leather, actually. It's gonna be left here. And some glass makers, White Horse, I think it says, from Glasgow, Scotland. Maybe distillers, I think. I think this used to be a bottle of scotch, which tracks for the Navy. Yep, that tracks, that makes sense. I believe it. I would totally believe that the mess hall of a World War I Navy training facility would contain a bottle of whiskey. I have no problem believing that for some reason. Anyhow, there's a lot of good stuff in here though. There's some bottles here that I haven't even noticed. Look. What is this? Clicquot Club beverage. Celebrate. I mean, Clicquot, Veuve Clicquot is like a champagne brand, no? But what is it doing here? And here's yet another ancient bottle from that period. Yeah, here's an ancient glass container. I don't know what this is all about. Point is, there's a lot of good stuff in here. All of it broken. All of it in shards, but still quite good. Can you see the staircase in there? Yeah, for some reason I'm not gonna go up that. I am beginning to come to a conclusion, and that conclusion is that there is no buried treasure in here. There's just some cool remains of stuff you would expect to find in a World War I era US Navy training facility. Do you agree with me on this conclusion? And upon that note, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I think that would be the sensible next step to do instead of obsess over what might be over yonder. I don't think we're gonna find buried treasure in here. We're gonna find essentially more of the same. But yeah, I mean, none of this stuff is of any monetary value, so please don't take it if you decide to venture into this place. If you're crazy enough to come here, please don't take any of it. It's not worth anything, and it's cooler when it's in situ like this. It's like you get to find these little trinkets, these little mementos of a time long past, and it's so freaking cool. And now for my favorite thing about this island. As if this island's like vibe wasn't mysterious and foreboding enough. Look at the structure, man. Just look at it, it's so cool. So this is the only structure or ruin of a structure that remains from the farming days of this island. So that would be pre-Burrage Hospital, back when Harvard used this island as a farming operation, and before that also. Once again, feel free to pause the video to read this whole thing. Yeah, so the gist of that sign, the information, is that this structure, we don't know exactly when it was built. It was built in the 1800s during the farming period of this island, once again, pre-World War I. And this was likely a barn and farmhouse. And during the war, when this island was converted to a Navy training facility, this became a heat generation station. So that's why the structure still exists, because they recycled it. Basically, they used it for something during the World War I era, and then whereas a lot of the other structures on the island would have been demolished, I guess, to make way for all the US Navy structures. It was huge, the operation here. Absolutely huge. There were 56 buildings on this island at one time, and about 1,800 enlisted people, military staff, on this island. But yeah, enough yapping. Time to enjoy the vibes that this place has to offer. And the fact that there's like a tree growing straight out of the middle of it just makes it all the more mysterious, this place. And I absolutely love it. Like this could be one of my favorite places, if not my favorite place in like the vicinity of Boston, within Boston suburbia, if you could even call this that, you know. Feels so remote and mysterious, and well, part of that is because this place is hard to get to, but I just freaking love this place. And here's the other chamber next door. This would have been built just by collecting rocks wherever they could find them. Most of them look pretty rounded, because they came from the beach. They were rounded out by the waves over time, and at some point someone decided we collect these rocks and build a structure. And yeah, so sometime in the 1800s, I wish I could have come up with like an exact date for you for when this was built, but there doesn't seem to be one that's established. Like, no one knows for sure when this was built, but sometime in the 1800s, which, I mean, 100 years is still quite a big gap. But yeah, this place is so friggin' awesome. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I just love this island. It's friggin' awesome. I also wanted to just show this to you guys. This appears to be the ruins of a porta potty. Rome has the Colosseum, Paris has the Eiffel Tower, and Boston has this. Couldn't resist stopping here one last time before I leave. See you some other time. Someone's underwear. Beautiful, amazing, scenic view of Boston. Thank you so much for watching my crazy adventure. Hope to see you on the next one.